Welcome to New Money, everyone, where we explore and decipher Chinese startups each week. And if you are an active user of social media, your platforms probably are flooded with your friends working out in the gym. With this newfound passion for fitness rising across China, especially in large cities, a slew of mobile apps have mushroomed, hoping to ride the country's growing gym mania.
Baijiele loves working out, but struggled to find a suitable training routine. Now he uses the app FitTime and gets timely online guidance from a personal trainer.
A trainer can help me at any time. Unlike personal trainers at the gym, he doesn't just show you once or twice how to do the movements. He guides me through the training plans on the FitTime app and adapts them to my specific needs. Moreover, I tell him a lot of details, like what I eat, and then he helps me rearrange my lifestyle so that I can live a healthier, more organized life. I think that this will really help me change my life for the better over the next month or so.
Bai's personal trainer Sheng Jia-chen coaches more than 20 people every day through the social media app WeChat.
The trainers working through this app are more flexible than those working in the gyms. Your trainer at the gym won't give you advice on a lot of things, like how you should eat. There are a lot of consultants available. If you run into any problem while working out, you can message us 24 hours a day and we will help you out. We're also more professional than the average trainer working in a gym.
Zhu Xiaoxiao passed on an opportunity to study at the Imperial College London. Instead, he decided to start FitTime with his high school classmate Dong Yu. They started out posting training videos on the popular social media site renren.com, where they quickly gained 1 million followers.
I think I have the advantage of being pioneers in the business. We were the first in the fitness industry in China to have our own originally produced videos. Admittedly, the quality wasn't all that great to begin with, but now we have our own production department in Wuxi with 5 members of staff. Now we have a very efficient production process from planning to post-production that makes high-quality videos. Right now, our videos rank first in China on the videos site Youku.com. So the two of us had a set of unique ideas, and we have been able to build a company that is something a little different.
In addition to videos, FitTime also creates personalized training programs for its users. FitTime currently has 2 million users. 65% of them are women, and 10% are foreigners. In early 2014, FitTime attracted more than 10 million RMB, or roughly $1.6 million in investments from famous investor Xu Xiaoping, angel investment fund Zhanfund, and Matrix Partners China, an investment firm focusing on internet startups. At the same time, a number of other fitness apps are also providing mobile coaching and customized fitness planning services, including Keep, Workout Plan, and 7.
Well, just a reminder, you can scan the QR code on the bottom of the screen for all the latest and previous episodes of New Money. And today joining us in the studio is Professor Jia Ning. She's the Deputy Director of China Business Case Center at Tsinghua University. So thank you very much for joining me today, Professor Jia. So can you give me an overall picture of China's fitness market?
Well, I think the overall fitness market in China has been experiencing rapid growth, and this is most because the rising income level in China, as well as increasing health awareness among Chinese consumers. So people are more willing to spend money on fitness, on health. But if you look at the level of maturity in this market compared to the US, for example, it's still at a very early stage. So the way I see the fitness market in China is I see this business more as an education business as opposed to a service business, because the general population, myself included, are still learning about the basic 1, 2, 3 of fitness. They're at the entry level, whereas in the US, the market is definitely more matured. So that's more of a service sector.
Professor Jia, tell me, what are some of the major fitness apps in the market right now?
Well, Tracy, I think we're seeing 4 major types of fitness apps in China. The first type is online community and content providers. So basically, these are companies that make their own fitness videos and place them on YouTube and other social media platforms. Similar companies in the US would include companies like Keep or FitTime. Right? And the second type we're seeing are platform builders. They basically connect between different commercial gyms as well as the customers.
Right.
So a classic example of that would be a startup company in the US called ClassPass. Right? And the third type of fitness app we're seeing in China is actually the apps that are developed by these offline gyms. So they mostly operate offline, but they use their apps as sort of their online portals. And the fourth type is actually the O2O home service. So you can place order online and your personal trainer will go to your home and deliver the service, help you engage in the trainings at your home.
I see. So, Professor Jia, FitTime uses a video-based exercise platform. Can you comment on the advantages of using this video-based platform?
Right. Well, I see this as the online education for fitness, and offers the same advantage that other online education offers. So, for example, it provides great flexibilities, so you can access these videos anytime, anywhere you want, and it's particularly helpful for people who travel a lot on the road, but they do not want to stop their fitness exercise. Right. And another benefit I see is you can actually repeat the same exercise without having your personal trainer present. With these videos, you can watch the same exercise over and over again, which is actually very helpful, especially for entry-level people who want to work out. Another benefit is, with the video, you can actually access more people at the same time. Right? Once you upload the video, a lot of people, millions of people around the globe, can see the same video. Right? So you can achieve that scale effect very quickly as well.
I'm going to download the app and give it a try.
Good idea.
Well, apart from this online content-based model, we'll look at apps that are using the online to offline model to attract users after a short break. Welcome back. While online tutoring apps provide distance learning from homes, some other apps are trying to connect users to offline gyms, trainers, and other sources.
As fitness apps like FitTime provide online training to users, some others are trying a different approach. They offer the O2O service, connecting online users to offline gyms with more flexibility. Li Han loves to work out and tries to stick to a strict training routine, but he frequently has to go on work trips and is unable to attend one gym. He has found a solution in Ran Fitness, an app that allows him to book single visits at gyms all over the country.
I used to buy one-year membership cards, but I couldn't use them on work trips. If, for instance, I went to Shanghai, I had to get a whole new membership card there, which obviously wouldn't be a good deal because I'd only stay a couple of weeks. Ran Fitness allows me to look up nearby gyms and pay for single visits, which fits me better. I'll book 1 or 2 visits so that I can keep up with my training schedule. I've been training for a couple of years now. I do some weightlifting to grow more muscles. But I also want to try other things like Thai boxing or maybe some other sports that are popular right now. Through this app, I can buy single visits to all kinds of classes. This way, I get to try out different types of exercises, which gives me a much more varied and interesting training program.
Ran Fitness was founded by Wang Hao, a successful serial entrepreneur who was part of the team behind Tmall.com, one of the biggest e-commerce sites in China. He decided to start the company after 15 failed attempts at losing weight. The app is different from other fitness apps in a few key ways. The pay-as-you-go model is attractive to cost-sensitive fitness lovers who are often scared off by the exorbitant yearly membership required by gyms. Now it's looking to attract more users by providing a more comprehensive range of services.
What's so unique about our app is that firstly we charge our users per session. Our users can book hours at nearby gyms or with certain classes or personal trainers. Secondly, at some point in the future, we might want to provide a one-stop solution, which means providing the consumers with even more options, like training equipment, nutrition, and notifications on when you should drink or eat. We want to provide all of this in one place, not only the training itself.
不仅仅只是在健身的课程上。
Like FitTime, Rand Fitness are going to create a series of videos. To boost their profile, the company has invited Wang Hua, a former head of China's bodybuilding team and winner of China's National Bodybuilding Championship, to film a series of exercise tutorials.
我觉得燃健身他们做的这个。
I think it's great that they are riding the tide of the Internet Plus, because these apps and mobile platforms provide great opportunities for us trainers to promote ourselves. They're at the forefront when it comes to promoting fitness to the general population, which allows us to reach a huge amount of people, so I definitely support it. This app has also provided trainers with an easy-to-use platform that I hope will help trainers like myself communicate better with users.
希望能够跟线下的那些消费者有一个很好的互动。
Rand Fitness went online in 2015. It has already established partnerships with more than 3,300 local gyms, yoga centers, and dance studios in Beijing, Shanghai, Shenzhen, and Hangzhou. It has accumulated more than 500,000 users. Similar contract-free gym-based O2O apps also include Chuancheng Rulian and Xiaoxiong Kuai Pao. They offer a monthly pass to partnership gyms priced at only 100 yuan. A user is only allowed to visit the same gym 3 times during that period.
Professor Jia, can you comment on Rand Fitness's business model?
This is a company that builds up a platform that connects between all these commercial gyms in the region as well as all the customers across the nation, actually. So the idea here is it partners with multiple gyms and is able to actually acquire the usage rights, access rights to these gyms at a substantial deep discount. And then on the other hand, the company is able to remix and repackage, the products and sell the products to customers in such a way that allow them to access all these gyms and actually try out a variety of different equipments and different fitness activities. Right? So this is basically a idea that's based on sharing economy and also basically to revamp the traditional fitness business model.
Sounds like a good idea. Professor Jia, personally, I think this is a good idea. For example, ClassPass is a very successful business in the US. Do you think that type of model can be replicated in China, and can it be equally as successful?
That's a great question, Tracy. In fact, I think we're seeing companies in China, startup companies, who actually borrow the ClassPass business model and try to adapt it into the Chinese market. However, I am actually seeing several challenges in implementing the same business model in this part of the world. The first challenge being there is a high pricing gap between what these commercial gyms are charging currently in the Chinese market and what these O2O companies are charging, right? So you know that for these offline commercial gyms, one way for them, a major way for them to make money is actually to sell these prepaid membership cards. These are annual membership, and which basically sells for 2,000, 3,000 RMB per year, right? But the nice thing is, usually, right, when people purchase these membership cards, they only go to the gym, once or twice, and then they lose interest. So basically, if you really think about the effective price per session, it's actually very high. It's like 1,000 RMB per session, right? Whereas now you have the newcomers into this market, who are providing the product and service for 99 RMB per month. There is a very high pricing gap, right? So it's actually a question mark as to what extent these commercial gyms are willing to cooperate with these O2O companies and try out this new business business models, right? And this actually brings out my second point, which is the negative externality effect. Because when you introduce such a great package, for 99 RMB per month, a lot of people will actually end up buying these cheaper packages, and nobody's willing to buy these expensive 2,000 RMB annual membership anymore, right? And which, from a business perspective, is actually not optimal, right, for these commercial gyms. So there is a bit of externality effect going on, which is a second challenge. And the third challenge is actually the low stickiness, because now with the 99 RMB per month package, you can try out a variety of different gyms in different locations. So it's really hard to keep customer loyalty, right? These people come and go. It's hard for the company to manage its operations.
So, Professor Jia, we see a lot of these fitness apps employ celebrities to advertise for them. Can you comment on this sort of celebrity advertising effect, this fan-based advertising effect?
I think this is actually quite common both in Western countries like the US and as well as in China. These sports companies, manufacturers of sportswears and sports equipment, they love to collaborate with professional athletes, especially celebrity athletes. And I think for a lot of these collaborations, it's a win-win situation. So if you think about in the West, a classic example is the collaboration between Michael Jordan and Nike, right? So Michael Jordan became more famous, which actually bring the Nike brand more famous as well, and vice versa, right? So this is a win-win situation, and I think the reason for having a professional athletes or celebrity athletes is that because first of all, the athlete has a very positive image, personal image, and also the athlete is able to attract a lot of fans, which basically is a good way to cultivate potential buyers for the company brand.
They also increase the stickiness of the brand loyalty as well.
That's right. So the customers are more likely to stay with the brand for an extended period of time.
And that just reminds me of the huge success of Jordan brand Nike shoes.
Right.
I had one of those pairs.
Oh, great.
Well, now we're heading for another short break before we take a closer look at China's fitness industry. Stay tuned. Welcome back. With a growing fitness market, mobile app developers are actively developing their businesses. But how to turn their ambition into huge profits?
The commercial fitness industry appeared in China as early as the 1980s, but has only started to soar over recent years. That's largely due to rising wages and health consciousness among the country's rising middle class, especially in the top-tier cities. According to business think tank IBISWorld, the industry's annual growth averaged nearly 14% from 2010 to 2015, and it's expected to rake in more than $5 billion this year. In June 2015, FitTime worked with Junfun to crowdfund their new product, allowing users to buy shares for 233 RMB, or a little less than $40. The event was popular among its fans. Even sports giant Adidas chipped in.
We believe that FitTime has a lot of potential in the fitness industry. If you want to build a great brand, you have to love fitness and believe that working out can really make people happier. I think ZTime is one of those companies. We want to cooperate with promising brands and fitness platforms in China so that we can make a positive contribution to the Chinese people.
甚至将来能够对中国国民健身产生积极影响的事情。
But Zhu Xiaoxiao believes that only targeting people who are already working out isn't enough. He is looking to develop new users by lowering the threshold in the hope of tapping the wider potential market.
The threshold for consumers is still too high. What we want to do is to lower the threshold. We give people free stuff, and we give them something that will only cost them 100 or 200 yuan per month. By lowering the threshold, we can expand the market beyond the users that are into fitness today. According to my own estimates, I believe that if we have a market of 10 million users today, it will expand to at least 30 million once we lower the threshold. Once these new users arrive, there will be a lack of gyms and trainers. When that time comes, we will be able to do a lot of things. This is what we think will happen, and that's the direction we're going in.
对，这是我们对这个一个市场的一个预判吧。对，也是我们未来的一个发展方向。
At the same time, Rand Fitness has secured a $15 million Series A investment. CEO Wang Hao also believes that the market will expand and explains that the company plans to grow exponentially over the next 2 years.
我们是想在2-3年之内呢，我们是想
Over the next 2 or 3 years, we will firstly have a presence in all of China. We want to cover at least the provincial capitals, which is 40 or so cities. That's our goal for the cities. Secondly, we want to cooperate with at least 100,000 fitness companies. That's our goal for our partners. Thirdly, we want to provide fitness services to more than 50 million people, which is roughly the entire market in China today. We want the market to expand, and we want more people to receive the excellent service that we have to offer.
能够享受到最优质的健身的服务。
But analysts point out over-reliance on offline service providers is the issue to be addressed for O2O fitness apps. They warn this dependency could be the potential bottleneck for the industry's long-term development.
我个人认为，就是健身 O2O 其实还有很长的路要走。
Fitness O2O still has a long way to go. Actually, there are already a great number of apps in this category, but traditional offline fitness companies aren't very positive about them. Yet these companies are the mainstream of today's fitness industry, and no matter how much you make it an O2O thing, this industry is still firmly grounded in the offline world. But a lot of people are investing, or as we say, burning money, and although they are competing with traditional companies, they are also reliant on them because they need professional gyms and professional trainers. They don't have their own infrastructure and they won't be able to build it either, at least in the short term. So fitness O2O companies still have a very long way to go indeed.
和专业的教练，因为他自己是没有这些东西的，短期之内他也不可能就是有比较完备的这种设施。
Young says fitness apps also need to develop hardware connectivity to foster a loyal user base. He says integrating e-commerce will be a key source of revenue for fitness apps.
第二点呢，就可以是让这个健身 APP 更加贴近我们的生活。
Developers could make fitness apps become a part of our lives. They might decide not to limit themselves to just training schedules, but include other things like nutrition, sleep, and weight monitoring. Then, as a user, I might check the app first thing in the morning to check on my sleep pattern, like Xiaomi's product the Mi Band does now. Thirdly, they will probably develop e-commerce platforms. Why do I think they'll do that? Because then they can sell sports equipment, gear, clothes, and accessories and smart equipment.
在这上面可以卖一些运动设备、穿戴设备、智能设备，然后还有包括一些运动建材、器材。
Young also says, though China's internet giants are tapping into the country's booming sports market, their focus remains on large matches and events rather than personal fitness. But he says for industry players in this participation-based area, integration with these large sports platforms could be a possible direction for development in the future.
很多互联网巨头也开始
Many internet giants want to get a piece of this cake, and many have already made some efforts, but their focus so far has been on spectator sports like match tickets. They haven't delved into the market and made their users become truly their own. They still need to develop a service that makes consumers actively participate. But if internet giants are unable to pull this off, they will need other companies to do it for them. To solve this, they can make a platform that gathers all these apps. If they grab this opportunity, it would be a good opportunity for them to develop. If they choose to team up with the internet giants, they could create a sports empire.
这个机遇来投奔巨头，那么真的有可能就会缔造一个真正的体育帝国。
So, Professor Jia, what are the challenges O2O fitness apps face when trying to integrate office gyms as studios?
Well, I'm seeing several challenges. One is the alignment of interest. We've already talked about this high pricing gap, and also the how the new product may actually displace the existing annual membership,
right.
Sales on that. And another thing we haven't talked about is the fact that another way for these commercial gyms to make money is by promoting their personal training sessions. These are high margin service offerings. Right. But when you have all these people come and go as they wish, people who buy these 99 RMB package are not going to be the people who request these personal trainings, right? So I think from a revenue perspective, this is actually not that positive, for the commercial gyms. And second challenge is actually standardization. You're now operating and working with a multiple number of commercial gyms. Some are higher quality in terms of the equipment they have. Some are lower qualities. So if you don't manage the relationship properly, what will happen is all these people will go to these high quality gyms, and these low quality gyms will remain idle, right? So which is actually not good from a operation perspective. And a third challenge is actually coordination. Now you have all these people rushing to the gym, after hours, which is going to be very crowded for the gym. So for the gym, its internal management, this is going to be more challenging as well, right? And it's going to actually adversely affect the overall experience of their long-term customers.
Right. It's going to be harder.
Yeah.
Professor Jia, what do you think about crowdfunding? They're saying that the crowdfunding era hasn't even begun in China, but it's already finished. But we look at FitTime, they actually used crowdfunding to start a business. Can you comment on that?
Right, it's an interesting product offering. This is actually a product that's jointly developed by one of the early investors of FitTime and the FitTime company itself. So the investor behind FitTime, one is Zheng Fund, Zhengge Fund, and the other one is actually Matrix. So the idea is the company is able to offer a number of shares to 300 fans or users of FitTime. And I think the point here is not really to address any financial need of the company, as the company has already raised external venture capital financing from top venture capital firms in China. I think the purpose rather is to actually engage the customer deeper, the users deeper, and use that as a marketing campaign. So I think so far the company has been quite successful in terms of using that marketing strategy.
So giving your users a tiny piece of equity to keep coming back, right?
And also to gain customer loyalty.
That's right. So Professor Jia, we already talked about it. Fitness market abroad, especially in the US, is already very, very mature. So do you think it's possible for a foreign player to enter China and dominate the market here?
Well, I think it's very possible that foreign players wanted to tap into the Chinese market, given this market, as we mentioned, has been growing extremely fast over the last several years. We're looking at double-digit growth in this market. However, whether or not these foreign players will be successful in this part of the world, I think that's a big question mark. Because we know for any business model to transplant that same model into foreign countries, you need to know the local know-hows. The rule of the game can be very different in that part of the world. For example, if you think about Google, if you think about eBay, if you think about Uber, right? These are all U.S. companies who are hugely successful in the U.S. and wanted to tap into the massive Chinese market. But so far, they have or are encountering a number of significant challenges. So whether or not these fitness giants in the U.S. can be equally successful in China, I think that's remained to be seen.
And they really have to learn about Chinese culture and Chinese customers' spending habits as well.
Exactly. Right.
Well, thank you very much for all your time and insights, Professor Jia.
Well, thanks so much for having me, Tracy.
That's it for this edition of New Money. And if you have an interesting business case to share, please email us at newmoney@cctv.com. Thank you very much for joining us today, and we'll see you at the same time next week.